Hello guys, welcome to Subcode, and today we are looking at another cup of code, and we are busy with the user profile on our mobile app. And we want to see how we can add that particular front end for our backend API. So as you would know, we use Springboot microservice architecture to build our APIs, and we want to see how we can get the user profile displaying in our front end. So let's just go to our entity account controller, and we can see let's go to the profile. Profile is user get, which is basically that. So this is endpoint right here. So as you can see, if you put that to the test, user profile is that endpoint right there, and we just say get that forbidden access denied, which means our token is expired. So let's just log in and get our token right here. Let's just get that token and let's go and log in right there. Save that and come back to profile, and let's get the profile. So if you can see, this is the user profile response, retrieve user success, and we have ID, entity number, first name, last name, email, and mobile. So we'll just be adding these on the front end mobile app, on our Ionic app. So let's see how we can achieve this. So we have on our Visual Studio Code, we have our profile service outlined right here. So we have the service and it has nothing on it. So the first thing that we want to do is, on the domain, we want to create a new file that we will call, let's just say, user profile response.ts, and basically this will be export class user profile response, and we want to create a few fields here. ID, which is according to that, is a number, so we can just say a number, and then we add another one, entity number, which is a string, and we have first name, last name. Let's do first name, last name, and we have email and mobile. Email string, and we just say mobile. I'm gonna make it a string as well. Then we're just gonna add a constructor to initialize all these, and we want to add all of this in here, and we're just going to do right, and then we want to ID entity number, and first name, last name, and then let's set email or typo here, email and email. Right, so let's just do email, mobile, it's mobile, right? So now this is set, we are all good, and we are able to then now, what we need to do is basically, if you have watched the previous video, which we uh, showcase the dashboard, how you can get the dashboard response from that, is basically here. What we want to do is basically take the same construct as everything that is here, because there's nothing much that we're doing. We're just gonna use the API, base API. We're gonna have the HTTP client as we did on dashboard. Then we're gonna have a function that retrieves the user profile, and we're just gonna handle the exception on any HTTP call that we have within that function. So we're just gonna use the same thing right here. So we're just gonna put all of that in there, and we want to like quick fix here and import that and import that as well. And then here we want to say profile, and we're just gonna do an HTTP get the base URL, which is the localhost 8080, like you can see on this API here. So localhost 8080/user. So here we're just gonna add user, and it's just going to be the user profile. So our response data should be a user profile type of response, and that's what we want. And then let's just fix these imports right here, and also fix this one right here, and let's also fix this one over here, right? So now everything is set. So our profile service is working as expected. Now we have our API URL, we have our HTTP client to make our HTTP calls or API calls, and we have our profile function right here, and it does the call, and the data that we get, we want it to be a user profile response, and everything looks good. And we're also catching an exception that is thrown from the API itself. And then now what we need to do is take this the response from the service call to our display component. So as you can see in the front end, if I go to profile right now, there's nothing in here. So we need to make sure that there are components here that can display the data that we get from the profile response right here. So what we want to do is go to our Ionic UI components, and I want to use the Ion card. So I want to use the Ion card because it has a nice way of displaying the details that I want. So I'm going to copy this as is. Then I'm going to come back here to the profile page, and this is just the default scaffolded header for Ionic content. So this is profile, and that's the only thing that we see within the app right here. So if I just save this right now and come back to the application, let's wait for the reload, and we see how that is going to display. All right, so this is how it looks like. So the one thing that I want to do for sure is basically I want to have the header, and I want to have the subtitle. I don't want to have the title, so let me comment this out for now. And then I want to have that. So this is where I'm going to put the name. So here I'm going to put the label, something like, let's see what we have here. Let's say entity number. Let's start with the entity number. So here let's just say entity number, things like that. And then let me just say here I want to have the actual entity number displayed. So before I add that, let's make the actual call within the service page itself, the actual page itself. So let's do payload So the payload is going to be our user profile response, just like that. And then we are going to have a parameter here, which is the profile service, and then I'm just going to say profile service, like that. So that's what we have. And then ng on init, what we want to do is just to say this dot profile service dot profile. Then that's basically what we have, and we're not passing anything in there, so we just say dot. Then what we want to have there is the response here, which is of type any, and we want to make sure we pipe this to this particular payload that we have. So we want to pipe and pass in the response to that, and basically that's all we need to do. So now we've called the profile service, and we've put the profile service to actually call profile, and basically take the response and pass it into the payload that we have right here. So let's see what the issue is there. I might not have saved the profile service. Let's see, profile service. Yes, I did not save that, so let's save this. So now everything should be fine. So when we come back here, the application is happy, everything's looking good. And now what we can do in the HTML is just tell the payload dot entity number. Then let's save this. Now let's come back to profile, and let's have a look how that looks like, and refresh. Voila! So now we have entity number, and that's the entity number according to the API as well. So this is what we have here, and that's looking good. So now it's all a matter of just taking the iron card that we have here and just adding the other components. So let's take this, and let's just do, let me actually do this. I want to paste this a couple of times, and then let's just see what we have. So we have entity number. So now we have first name, last name. Let's just do first name, and we want to get the first name here, and let's just do last name. Just do last name here. Then let's do email. Let's do email address. Then let's just do email. Then let's do finally mobile, and then let's do mobile. Right, so let's just remove this one. Then let's save this. Then let's come back and check the application, how it looks like. Okay, so let's just you can still log in, and it's fine. Let's log in. Right, now we are logged in, and then profile, and voila, we have our profile looking like that. So now we have the profile. You can basically see the user, and the one thing that we'd want to do maybe is edit this, because I did not add the update profile endpoint, so I did not add that, which is something that I need to add, but that should be enough for now. The only thing that I need to add now is updating the profile, or the other one is updating password. So I can add like 2 buttons here. So let's just do a card right here, and let's do I think I can remove this. Let me just say let me see action. Let me just say action and see. Then I want to do the iron button like that, and I want to say let's say update, and then let's do something like change password, right? Things like that, and let's just see that how it looks like now. Let's go to profile, and you can see you have action and you have updates and you have change password, things like that. So these I'll add on the next video, but for now just wanted to show you how you can have your profile looking like, and you can be able to retrieve the data. I just need to add the update profile endpoint on the backend side, and then it should allow us to then be able to add these fields. Would not be just static as they are now. This will be like a form field that will allow us to update certain fields, but their entity number wouldn't want to update that. We would want to update things like first name, last name, like your email address, like mobile number, things like that we can update, and then finally just update the password, or change the password if you want to. So this is like a simple way to show you how the profile can look like, and it's a quick video to run you through the user profile endpoint. And I hope this is helpful and also allows you to navigate adding a profile UI for your applications, and I hope it's helpful for you. But for now, cheers.